Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Diversity Roundtable. I'm your host, Pamela, and I'm delighted that you've joined us today for this conversation. And for those that didn't manage to join us, we will upload this episode onto our buzzing YouTube channel so that we can promote it in multiple countries and get the wider audience across the world to watch the wonderful insights that are going to be shared here today. So really, this platform is about honest, transformative conversations where we explore leadership, we explore diversity, we explore well-being, and the courage it takes to create meaningful change in our lives. So today, our theme is from surviving to living, courageous career change, and the power of being. And I can't think of a more fitting guest and individual for this discussion today other than Ana Paula Ruberio. Welcome, Ana Paula. How are you?
Thank you for being here with me today. I'm feeling really joyful to be present with you to talk about this. And I'm coming back from holiday, so I'm really refreshed and with lots of joy and energy to be here. So yeah, let's start.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm glad that you are refreshed because I think I was saying earlier as we're preparing that we started talking about this conversation in June, so it's been like that. 3 months later, we are finally doing it. So thank you. I'm just really delighted and blessed and grateful that we could connect and finally do this. So for our audience and our viewers and our listeners, Ana Paula is based in Lisbon in Portugal. And she is an extraordinary guide in transformation, in healing, and conscious living. She studied chemical engineering. She's worked in technology and management consulting. And then after that, she experienced a life-changing turning point in 2012 where she reinvented herself. She went on to start the company We Care On and later Cura Amor, and in doing so, creating spaces for healing, for growth, and for connection. She really, really embodies the evolution, love, and transformation. And today, she'll help us unpack the fears that we all have sometimes and the breakthroughs of career change and how to align our lives with who we truly are. Ana Paula, welcome once more to the Diversity Roundtable. It is such a gift to have you here. So before we get into the discussion, can you just maybe give us highlights in terms of who you are, your brief background, and then we'll get into your story. Over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I have a father and a mother, hopefully still here in motherhood. And in fact, and I have a sister and a brother. I have a son, Pedro, and a companion. And in fact, I'm always kind of traveling, and not kind of having a place, because I was born in a small town here in Portugal. And then I moved to study in a different place. And then I moved to Lisbon to study in the university. And then I went to Italy to study again. Then I moved again here to Lisbon. And then I changed to Edisa. So I'm kind of moving because, in fact, that's who I am. I like to move. I like to travel. I like this movement of connecting and being with people. And in fact, my career started after I finished the best engineering university here in Portugal. And at that time, I studied chemical engineering. I thought, okay, I'm kind of doing projects with this. It was just 1 year. And then I thought, no, I want to go to consulting companies because I thought, okay, I want to grow. I want to have a career like this. Like I want to become a partner. So in fact, I changed. I started to work in Accenture, corporate companies from America, from France, from Spain, so different ones. And my will to grow was never kind of stopped. Okay, I want this, that. And in fact, I worked a lot in sales and with teams. And for me, it's kind of never the end, and more and more and more. And in 2012,
Yeah.
a new thing starts, because a new company, because usually I was invited, okay, come to this company because you're really good, you're having good success, so come. So I
Yeah.
was changing companies. And at that time, one come and say, okay, come, we have a challenge for you. And I said, okay, no, but I don't want just to be the sales director. I want more. I want to have my own company.
Yeah.
If I go to your company, I want to be a partner. And they say, yes, can sign something. If you achieve this amount of sales, go. You pass immediately to. I said, oh, it will be easy, because I was
Yeah.
having lots of confidence in myself. But what happened? I was not there even 3 months, because I realized that our values, our human values, was not the same.
Yeah.
In fact, I was kind of expecting me that I was kind of, okay, you came here and you go to your prior customers, you will kind of bring all the business from there to here. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going not to rob and bring customers here. No, I'm going there and I'm going to say, okay, now I'm here in this company. And if you need something, please ask me. And so things were not kind of started well. And past these 3 months, they say, okay, no, it's not okay, so go. At that time, it was a kind of a big shock for me, because I was just seeing myself as someone who worked, or I was putting all my attention just working. And at that time, who am I without a work? Because I was kind of, at that time, I mean, when something happened, usually it's kind of victimizing yourself, blah, blah, blah. You create lots of stories. But
Yeah.
now I see it, oh my God, what a blessing.
Yeah.
Because if that didn't happen, I mean, these last years didn't happen the way it was. And lots of big things. And in fact, one thing that I realized is that I also could become a mom.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the key point to, okay, what now? What next? And instead of becoming like crying, right, of course. And crying is okay. But then I thought, no, I'm not going to stay here and crying all my life, because now I have opportunities to do different.
Yeah. Sure. No, it just goes to show that, certain things just, they really happen for a reason, to redirect your life into a certain path. And sometimes it may be painful when it happens, but it's only when you sit down and you really do some introspection in terms of, what is this trying to teach me? Which direction am I supposed to be going now? So it really talks to the turning point then that you experienced in 2012. Can you just maybe elaborate for me in terms of what that experience in 2012 revealed to you about your being and the power of just being and be in the moment?
Till that time, I think, in fact, I was kind of disconnected from my being, because I mean, I see some parts, because that part of going into a customer and asking what is their challenges and create a solution was kind of part that is really in me, because just today I create bridges all over the places.
Yeah.
In fact, after I created the company, and I'll explain more, in fact, I was always listening. You have a challenge. How can I help you finding the solution, or how can I create the solution for you? So this was kind of, I think that was already in my being. But in fact, at that time, I was not really in fact, I was kind of living a life that was kind of supposed to be the successful life that a woman can have or that a person can have. Because, yes, I had a job, I had a house, I had a partner, I had all of this. And yeah, seems like, oh, you are really successful. But somehow inside, I was not happy. It seems that I was happy because somehow you're kind of walking, and you feel, oh, it's okay, that's my life, and I assume this is okay. But in fact, if because I didn't have time to stop and to go inside and ask myself, this is really the life my being or my soul wants to live. Because if I had made myself that question, for sure, no. But when you're kind of in this roller coaster, or you don't have time to think or to go inside. And that breakup point when, okay, now I don't have a job. Now I have time to go and ask the questions. New perspectives are coming from my being to what next. And that was really a beautiful process of finding myself and on going deeper and asking what next. What next? And one thing that I absolutely knew, I don't want this life anymore. I didn't know exactly what was the next, but for sure, and because I at that time I said, okay, I'm going to call my previous companies and ask, okay, I'm free here again. Can I join again? But I didn't want that. I said, I don't know what is, but for sure I know that this is not the thing that I want. And yeah, something happened because sometimes but I was kind of with lots of fears coming. And now I don't know nothing more than this. I just know this. What else? But then I said, no. I mean, I worked in the big corporate companies in the world. I can do anything because I was kind of prepared to create things, to change things, I was having lots of knowledge in me. And then I thought, okay, lots of ideas come up. This. Then I asked myself, okay, but what are here inside really? It's not working in the world. What is something that I will take a stand for this? Because if there is no solution, I will create it. And when I got that, I thought, okay, let me look here around. What is something that's really is worrying me? And I look at my mom and I said, no, my mom is not working well. It's not feeling well. So I thought, okay, my mom is not feeling well. She's feeling depressed. Even I don't know exactly what is my purpose in life. Okay, so what if I create something for my mom and also for others? So that's why I started with this idea of creating the first mental health company in Portugal, online company, because there wasn't online things at that time. Only after the COVID started to do things online, but at that time, no. When I started to talk with people, they say, no, online, it's working. So kind of this, when this is something new, lots of fears come. So people start judging or saying not working. And I say, no. I want to thank you for your feedback, but something inside of me say, no, go with it. And I started this company.
No, I think it's such a really a beautiful journey because it's a journey of introspection. So let's take a deep dive into now and get into the real details now of our discussion. So the next segment that we're going to get into, I've termed it facing the fears of career change. And the context behind this, Anna Paula, is that, many people today are standing at crossroads. There's so much happening in the world. So most people, they feel that they are called to change, but their fears are loud also. And what are some of those fears in your experience? So let's just really name some of them. There's also the fear of the unknown. Number one, the voice that always whispers in your ear, what if it doesn't work? So in all of these fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of what if it doesn't work, in your experience and what you do today, how do you coach people through these fears?
Yeah. First thing is that, first is kind of saying that fear is an emotion like joy, like sadness, like anger. It's only gives you an information, just that. So fear is not wrong or fear is bad. No, fear is just fear. So it's just kind of simplify that fear is just information. But then I'm going to go deeper. And for example, this fear of the unknown, for example, that you talk.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you directly, for you and for each one of us.
Yeah.
Are you sure that you will be alive tomorrow?
Nope. None of us are sure, right? Even none of us are sure.
So what is worse for you than death? So you don't know nothing. Or we assume, for survival strategies, we are assuming that we know a lot of things. Oh, I have a house. Oh, I have this. So kind of, oh, I'm feeling safe right now. But you don't know nothing. You don't know. I mean, I don't know if something happened right now, if I'm talking here and suddenly I'm gone.
Yeah.
So if you see things in perspective, and if you really talk with your fear, you can get the information. Because in my perspective, and with all my customers, because in fact I'm a coach and I do lots of career coaching processes, but some fears don't belong just to you.
Yeah.
Some fear that you're carrying from your mother, from your father, from your ancestors, from this society that is putting you some information. So no, stay like this, be loyal to this job that you carry for what you study. I mean, you have lots of beliefs. And these beliefs kind of create kind of a mixed things in you, in your thoughts and your emotions, and you become kind of messy.
Yeah.
If you talk, if you really feel this, okay, I'm here, but I'm not happy in this company.
Yeah.
But my fear is I don't have money. I will not have the same success. Success, it depends what is success. Or maybe my friend will judge me, blah, blah. I mean, different things. Oh, I will not have money to buy the same dresses or the same dinners. For each statement that you're saying, go deep and find out, this is really my fear, or this is something that I hear from my mother and my father, from my friends, or from whatever. And if it's not my fear, I mean, I did lots of process like this. I did for myself. I did emotional processes. I did family constellations saying, okay, this fear don't belongs to me.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing me this fear. Mother, this fear is just your fear. Stay with it. I'll continue with just the information that is in the now. Because if I'm not happy living with this life, I'm living the life that they want, or I'm living my life. Because otherwise I'm coming here to live the life that others are telling me to live.
Yeah.
And then when I'll die, I'm going, then I say, oh my God, I was there in Mother Earth and I didn't live my life.
Yeah.
What a big sense. So this fear is just an information. And if you really go and feel the fear, kind of, oh, this fear is talking to me.
Yeah.
Most part of the times you see that the fear is not yours, and it will give you the information to prepare yourself for the next steps.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah.
Just that.
So yeah, I like my key takeaway in terms of what you've just, explained now, Anna Paula, is that, one needs to recognize where these fears are coming from, whether it is really your fear or it's just someone else's fear that's telling you that things are not going to work out, right? But with that also comes, we need clarity as well. But before I start to talk about clarity, you touched on the fear of financial insecurity, right? The fear of earning less or starting over from zero. So in your context, what helped you get through this, and how can others prepare without being paralyzed by money fears?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for that. Because money, like all things in the world, is a energy. It's just energy, and you can connect with it with scarcity, where or abundance. And sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's not that career change that will connect you to this, but because you already have stories related with money before.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of an entrance door to go in this process deeper.
Yeah.
Okay. And for example, if you have that fear, okay, now I don't have money, blah, 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 whatever, or I will earn less. I mean, first, and most part of the people, sometimes they have knowledge about financials. Some don't, in fact, some don't. Some people just, they earn money, they completely go on and they lose the money. But again, and coming back here again with this family constellation thing, if you have that fear again, go and find out where this money thing is happening in your life. Who are you becoming loyal to? Because I have lots of stories with this. One woman once said that her mother just earned, for example, 1,000 euros. And for her, kind of unconsciously, she could earn more than 1,000 because somehow she said, oh, I'm better than my mom. Also, I want to be loyal to her, so I cannot earn more.
Yeah.
My mother or father. And somehow, this is so unconscious that somehow you're kind of creating stories that they are not pushing you and valuing yourself for who you are and for exactly what you can achieve in life. So these things are just going and, okay, I want to change, but let's start, for example, change for something completely new.
Yeah.
That's what was happening with me, because I was working in consulting and engineering and technology, and I was moving to psychology and coaching. That was a different area. From scratch, I studied, but because I love to study.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that for my being is kind of, when I say, okay, there is a book, I radiate with that.
Yeah.
Of course, if I don't like this, or if I don't radiate on learning, maybe it's a different thing. But for me, kind of creating new things is part of me, of who I am.
Yeah.
So it's helped me on this process of, okay. And again, at that time, for me, it was kind of a shock. But I was lucky that here in Portugal, I received an employment benefit for that. So that will help me for the next 2 years when I was creating and preparing, not being completely zero. But that happened to me, right? I was kind of, okay, this happened. And now, but also before, I was having some savings. So even I was kind of earning less, I was capable of rearranging my life. And maybe before I was going to vacations to Maldives, No, that time, no, I haven't gone to Maldives. Maybe I was thinking here more in Portugal. But for me, it was not kind of because I was thinking, but what is more important for me? Is my
Yeah,
holidays in Maldives, or is kind of creating the company that I really is pushing me to live the life I want?
yeah,
So you kind of putting the things in perspective. You're
yeah,
asking you the right questions to yourself. And so the money is not, for me, the money is not all, it's not a question. It's more going deep to kind of seeing what is kind of stopping you to go. Because maybe
yeah.
it's not just the money that is stopping you to take the decision. So yeah.
Mm, mm. No, thank you so much for explaining that clearly, because I think the key takeaway really is that when we go through these type of phases in life, because there are different phases in life, right? You need to just really, take some time and really, with clarity, understand where you are at, what is your purpose, what got you into this place in the first place, and what are your truest desires, and how are you going to go about achieving that, and who are the people that you can tap into for support, that can help you walk the journey, because it can be quite lonely as well.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
so, so let's continue and let's talk about barriers now. Here I'm talking about inner barriers, because in this journey, there's also self-doubt, and also identity, because I think when you've been in a space for a long time, you tend to identify with that job title, with that environment, and now you need to start to ask yourself critical questions about, who is this human being? Who am I? So, when we talk about this big barrier, which is self doubt, people often ask themselves, am I good enough? Am I too old? With AI and technology and the younger generation, there's also the issue of ageism as well, or am I even too late to even start this business? So how do we, in self-doubt and identity and asking yourself questions, am I good enough? Am I too old? Is it too late? How do we then, quiet that inner critic? Because it's more about what you tell yourself than what other people tell you about yourself.
Yeah. I'm going to start a little bit um, with other thing, because you said about creating kind of team when you have these doubts, or when you kind of afraid that you, because you're fired, because you cannot stay more in your previous job, or whatever the situation is, you have that doubts. Should I create something? Should I move?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that was really important for me
Mm.
was having a team of people who, in fact, help me in all my bodies, having the right, creating my own path. It's not because they are telling me what to do, but because they are asking me the right questions.
Yeah.
And in fact, I did coaching, and I began also, I started also myself to study coaching, and
Yeah.
and now I'm a coach with neuroprogramming language. And I was kind of observing myself with the thoughts that came. This thing, oh, I'm not good enough to create now a company that I don't have experience on. Oh, but I stayed all my life working in IT and consulting. What knowledge do I have on talking with people and talking about feelings or emotions, and knowing how can I help them? And in fact, this is all stories that you create yourself to not go,
Yeah.
because your fear is so big, so big, so big, that you arrange millions of stories, or because you kind of, oh, that story that someone told me, oh, I will kind of grab my story to me.
Yeah.
And this thing, first thing you need to do is work in your mind. First thing,
Yeah.
in fact, is kind of observing the stories that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately change it and do it the opposite. Oh, I can't do that. I can't. I can.
Yeah.
Simple things, but what helped me first is because, and that's why I said you need to observe in yourself all the bodies. because most part of that clarity that you talked come from two things. To have clarity in your mind, you need to use your anger. Using your anger is the energy that's simply disappears, this fog that you have here in the brain, because you have fear, sadness, anger, and you need to really clear. The anger is the energy that makes you wake up in the morning, put that power, that strength, and go with it. So you need to work in your emotional body and talk. It's kind of, because the anger is the thing that puts your bones up, and go with it. And put this kind of posture of, yes, I can do it. So it's not that only you think, oh, yes, today I'm going to create this project, or today I will take this decision to go. And no. You need to work on your emotions. This is the most important thing. And then again, and I'll continue to talk about that, because this kind of patterns that you have related to your father and mother and your ancestors, it is a big thing, because you're loyal to lots of them. And sometimes kind of, a grandfather that you have a different kind of couldn't work in the things that he wanted. So somehow you kind of loyal, oh, no, I also cannot be or work in the things that I really want. No, you need to go. And finally, your purpose. Go and talk to your soul. I mean, if you are working just for getting money, sorry, you can earn millions, but your soul is bored, is getting sick, because it's not kind of living this joy. So if you're not going deeper and ask your soul, yes, what is my purpose in this life? And the purpose it cannot be always the same purpose, because sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. One thing, and just coming back for one thing that I said, if that thing that didn't happen to me, if I didn't change this career, I don't have Pedro, my son, right now, because at that time I was just focused on work. I was not focused on become a mother. So I really appreciate, because all the things that happened to me, that kind of things happened to me, creates me. I think for me, it's my best version. And I think I'm working to becoming even my best version, because today I'm my best version, but tomorrow definitely I will be even my best than what I am now. So again, these thoughts that you have, this kind of, oh, no, this is the victim mode. This is the victim mode, don't believing in yourself. And of course, you need to go and find out why. Because someone told you that when you are at school, for example, or because you're not kind of feeling loved when you were a child. It's always about doing
You are so spot on, Anapala. You are so spot on, because I think it also, it also has to do with, your background in your childhood and the childhood trauma, right? And in terms of how you see yourself in the world as you grow up and you get into certain spaces, right? So for me, I grew up and be like almost like a people pleaser at my own expense, always just wanting to be liked and doing things for people and giving away people. Even when I did not even have enough myself, I'll still give away because I wanted people to love me and like me. So I think, thank you so much for confirming that, when you then start to get into your full self, you then understand who you are in your emotions, and you get into a space where it doesn't really matter who likes you and who doesn't like you, as long as you are clear about your purpose with the spaces that you operate in and the people that align with what you are trying to achieve. Your people will always find you. So thank you so much for confirming that. So briefly, can we just then close the loop on the issue of identity as a barrier? Because so many people are also tied to their job titles, So when people introduce themselves in social settings, they're like, oh no, I'm Anna Polio, I'm an engineer, I'm a CEO, I'm a manager. And then I often ask people questions like, who are you really without the title? So how do we even begin to untangle our worth from job titles and reconnect with who we are beyond work?
Yeah, this is a big thing in our society today. And one thing for me, it starts with education because
Yeah.
I have a son with 7 years old, and I mean, I'm not saying when I say to okay, Pedro, present yourself. Of course, you don't have a title, so good that the children have title.
Yeah.
Here you are saying I'm this and that. I mean, I'm confident or I'm intelligent. I like this. I like that. And in fact, I'm going to talk here about an exercise that I did in biodanza. It was really fantastic, and I can put it here so people can do it.
Yeah.
Because this exercise and this thing, who am I? For me, it was always a big question. And in fact, that day when I was doing this process, I realized, oh, I can be different things every day. Today I'm here, I'm this, tomorrow I'm that. And I'll explain the exercise. It was really funny. So the exercise was, okay, present yourself to 3 different people, and you cannot say nothing related to what you do. Because people confuse who am I to what I do. So you cannot say I'm doing, or I'm a doctor, or I'm an engineer. Delete that word. So lots of people kind of became kind of frightening because they only see themselves in a world of working, or who am I doing?
Yeah.
So it was kind of the first thing. And the other thing was, okay, just say one thing, and then you move to the next team, and you cannot repeat the things that you said before. So you're kind of creating 3 different stories, because we did this in 3 times. You cannot repeat nothing. So I was thinking, okay, for this person here, I'm this. For that person here, I'm this. For that person. So I can have different 3 me's for 3 people. It was, for me, it was kind of so brilliant, so refreshing doing that, because I just took out all the things related to who am I. Sometimes we think that needs to be a huge thing, but it's all inside of us. When I connect with you, and I can tell you, okay, now I'm this because I'm this in this space. When I'm going to a different place, and with my kids, maybe I can be something that I really am, but for that space, I can be in the space. And it's a really different thing. And in fact, I never told them, oh, I took a course in engineering, or I created a company, blah, blah, blah. I really like be people. I really like to laugh. I really like to work with symptoms, or I really like to work with emotions. That's it. I really like to play with you and dance. I mean, this is nothing to do with We Care On or Curamor or my son, whatever. I like to travel. So these things I'm that. And what I'm going to do with this, it's my way of living. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure. No, thank you so much. It's really, what are your passions? And that really defines your way of living and your way of being. Thank you so much. So, and then of course, while we build on this, Anapolia, is that there's also the social pressure, right? From family, from peers, from friends, questioning your decisions, questioning why you'd leave a good job. And, how can we hold firm then to our truth when we are facing these judgments and questions like that? Because all people see is that, oh, it's a big company, it's a good job. but they don't really know what is happening behind the scenes and what you're experiencing. And so can you talk to us about that in terms of, holding to our truth when we are facing judgment?
Yeah, I have that experience too. I have all these experiences because I remember my father. I love my father,
Yeah,
but it was kind of saying, "What is this coach? You even don't know how to say coach." So it's
yeah,
squashing. What is this? I don't know what is. I prefer when you are kind of an engineer, you work with this, you have a good salary. Now I don't know what you're doing.
yeah,
Lots of times.
yeah,
Lots of times. Even when I created my first company, he was saying, but you have appointments, you are earning a good money.
yes,
I'm happy, father. That's what I want.
yeah,
So that's the thing, because yeah, this is all a matter of mental, or kind of the way you see life, or the way you're kind of putting in maps of the society. This is a map, focus on this, or you need to become this, or maybe some fathers wants my child needs to be a doctor or something, or needs to earn good
yes,
money.
yeah,
This is just kind of, again, like I said before, this is living the life that they want for you, not the life that you really want. And
yes,
so, of course, I mean, my father, my mom, I mean, everyone, even my partner was saying, oh, because when I met him, I was working in consulting, he was working in consulting, I mean, kind of, we are in the same thing. And he was kind of saying, oh, yeah, but why you're kind of changing? You're kind of doing strange
strange things.
things, kind of living in a tribal, kind of a new tribal. Yeah, but it's my tribal.
Yeah,
This is the thing that I really want. And so this the thing is, this will going to happen.
yeah,
What you're going to do with that?
yes,
You're going to stay in, because when you're changing something, you need to really trust in what is here, in what your soul is telling you to do. And of course, yeah, maybe sometimes you can come again, okay, especially when you, for example, in my case, because I'm creating projects and new projects, and sometimes in the beginning, you're not earning any money, or just few money. And you say, oh my God, first I have this, and you're kind of starting comparing your
yeah,
first life or previous life to this life. But if you're just going to, for example, compare with the money, or yeah, maybe to compare with maybe more time that you have, your more joy, more life, more, I mean, starting to put the things that in fact are pushing you up, instead of just comparing with the things that the other wants you to compare. Because
yeah,
maybe you're not seeing just success as having a house or a car or whatever, but you're seeing success as the time that I have to be with my son, because I'm healthier now, I eat better, I'm not always in a rush, and I can be present, I can stop right now, and okay, if I
yeah,
want to meditate right now, I don't need to be in a rush, because my my leader is calling me to a new meeting that I don't want to be there. So in fact, I think you have more time to breathe,
yes,
to breathe. And
yes,
when you are breathing, somehow you feel more connected to who you really are,
yeah,
and not again to the stories or these ideas that comes from the outside,
yeah,
but from what really matters to you.
yes,
And so you don't care, you really, okay, oh, for you, okay, you have an expectation for my life, but I'm living my life, I don't need to live the life that you want me to live. And you can say this with love, with compassion, and that's it. And if they have a problem, they can fix their problem, because I don't want to keep their problem.
mm. So I love that. I love you saying that, you are more connected with who you want to be, right? And because sometimes we live our lives succumbing to other people's pressure, and years down the line, we question our choices and we question, how did we even get here? You know? So thank you so much. So I think lastly, so we are about to close, and I'm just really enjoying this discussion, Anna Paula. So let's then talk about overthinking. Some people call it analysis paralysis, just thinking, because so many people, they will do research, they will analyze, they will make endless lists of pros and cons, why this, why that, but they never take the step. They never move. So what's your advice, for shifting from the head into action? So when I say from the head, it's like living in your head. You're asking all these questions, you're overthinking, making all these scenarios, and then end up confusing yourself even about which direction you should be going. And then as a result, you never take the next step in terms of moving into your center, moving into who you are meant to be, right? And by this, we are not saying that everyone must now up and leave and quit their job and whatnot. Obviously, there's context to it in terms of what you are experiencing, because it's only you that feels the pain and not the other person. So in feeling the pain, so how do you get over the overthinking and actually move from living in your head and actually take action about your situation?
One thing that is really important is, again, coming back to the five bodies, because we live in a society that only values thinking.
Yeah.
Only values if you have a body, kind of this matter here, oh, I have a body and I have a mind, because this is working for just work.
Yeah.
You're not just that. And when you're just talking about, okay, I have a body that moves and I think so I can be productive and I can be good at work, in fact, you're not living your life. So this overthinking is because you're not connected with your other bodies, your other three bodies, your emotional body, that where all the information comes. Your energetic body, it's energy. You're kind of, everything has energy, and I'm compelled to move or go. And your body knows. For example, and it's not related to that, but for example, if you have here two apples, one is kind of organic and one is not. I know, because I already tried, that my body moves, even if without I'm saying, to the organic one, to the one that is good for me. And it's easier. And the other one, of course, is the more spiritual one and more my purpose and blah, blah, blah. So people who are always overthinking is because they are not connected to the other bodies. And overthinking usually is more connected with fear. Emotion is fear. So if you live your life, and the problem in this society today, that's why we have lots of depressions and anxieties and burnouts, is because people are not really connected with their heart and what they really want. And so it's you're kind of manipulated to go just for your mind, because you think that, oh, here I'm safe because I'm intelligent, because I studied. So you think that you're just living in a survival mode. It's just a survival strategy mode. So you're not really living your life, because when you find that, okay, I'm thinking because I'm planning, this is just fear. And if you live with fear, you're not living your life, because you don't live with your joy. Joy is the space holder, is the king, is the queen, that I'm going with my next move. And again, and I'm kind of somehow repeating the things, but working or not working, delete, feeling exactly what is happening in your life in the five bodies. And I have an exercise, because if you go and ask, if you have any symptom in your five bodies, you can ask, okay, what is the pain in this body? Because each pain has different informations. And what is my ecstasy in each five bodies? So you will find answers. If you're thinking, it's kind of your mind is telling me, oh my God, I don't have clarity And clarity again comes from your anger. You need to use your anger to kind of stop. I don't want this more in my life. I'm the owner of my life. I'm the creator of my life. And yeah, I mean, again, one thing that really needs to be shifted is your consciousness.
Mm.
And in fact, asking you the right questions. And I'm seeing that you have here Marta.
Yes.
I think Marta is a friend of mine. And I don't know, Marta, if you have any question to share here, you can turn on your audio or your video. If you have any question to share here, because we are here three brilliant women, and I think I would love to hear from you if you have any question to say.
Hi, Paula. I'm driving, so it has been a pleasure to listen you. Yes, we are friends for a long time, and it has been fantastic to see your adventure and listen you your adventure. Yeah, but you are leading the path. I think everyone is looking for that, and myself, I'm also in my own adventure, and yeah, you already touched that piece, but can you develop a little bit more how someone can release the fear?
Yeah.
The fear of the uncertainty, the fear of did I took the right decision to embark in an adventure to in a new adventure. So how we can release that fear, and if you can tell it with some practical tools, I will appreciate a lot. And I loved to see you and to listen you.
Thank you, Marta. In fact, we already talked about it, but you're not here, and okay, you can also see it, but I'll kind of resume it. One thing that we talked was that maybe some fears that maybe you are feeling are not yours. Maybe that some fears that you are feeling are from your mother, from your father, and from your ancestors, or also from some beliefs that someone put in your agenda or in your mind that, okay, do this in this way, in this kind of way, that is kind of the right way. And somehow you kind of feel imprisoned in some paths or some behaviors that someone created for you. And work with the fear is one of the most good things to do here in life, because some people are telling in some books are saying this, that when you are in fear, you're not in love. Mm-hmm. And if we all kind of simplify, if we're not talking about all emotions, but kind of just saying there are only two emotions in life, fear and love. So when you are in fear, is because somehow you're not loving yourself, you don't trust yourself, or whatever, lots of things. So one thing that really helped me was starting my personal development and find out kind of fear by fear, how can I integrate that and reprogram this, not only in my mind, but in my whole bodies, because I'm an all. I'm not just kind of this thing. And this uncertainty that you talked, Marta,
yes,
you don't know right now, for example, if you're going to die in 5 minutes, you know?
It's true, and I'm driving, yeah.
So when you put things in perspective, and I'm imagining that for some people dying is kind of a bad thing, but it's not. It's just a new thing that will happen in your life. But if you're asking yourself, what is worse than death? Maybe lots of things just fall. And then that's it. It's a process, Marta. And working with the fear is something that I still work on it, because lots of fears I already kind of vanished. And yes, they don't belong more to me. And some are coming, but some fears when they come, they are just information. I just connect with that and say, okay, you're telling me this is true. This is my survival strategy, or this is really true. So I need to prepare this, or I need to take care of this. And if I need to take care of this, or if I need to plan something, okay, I'll plan it. I remember once I did a career coaching with a woman, and lots of things. Oh, I don't want this, or I'm feeling fear because I don't know these things. One thing that the fear told her to do was, okay, I can stay here in this company for more 6 months because I'll use these 6 months here to study this new area that I want.
Yeah.
To create, she used the fear to prepare the next steps. And so she was kind of, okay, now I will stay here this time. And she kind of get a new energy to stay in that company because she thought, okay, so I will not leave because I need this money here, because this money I will apply it on this, and then I can create new. So the fear is not always the enemy. The fear is just information. And sometimes when it's kind of putting you down and not stopping you to go ahead, okay, delete it. But when it's pure information that helps you create the next step, whoa, thank you, fear. You're giving me this information. So use the information. It's just that. And there is more information, Marta, but we talked a little bit more about fear in the beginning. And I can also talk to you later about that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Paula. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marta, for joining us. Please be safe on the road. Thank you for being here, and we really appreciate you. So, Anna Paula, so as we're about to close, can we then just summarize, in the context of healing and whole person transformation, because what I really love about your work is that it's just never about just careers, it's about wholeness. You speak about balance across 5 bodies. You speak about relationships, you speak about health and healing as well, So in the context then that why is career change really about becoming whole? Just to summarize it for us, this really talks around your philosophy, about the power of being. Yeah.
Yeah. Summarizing, it's, yeah. But what I'm seeing is that, in fact, and it comes again with the questions that who am I and not what I'm doing, because when you go deeper and find exactly who you are, what is kind of your purpose, you need always to start with your soul, with your purpose, and then coming to the action, because if you start kind of, okay, my purpose in this life is here, is working with it. It's evil. In fact, we all come here to evolve and to transform ourselves, and in that process, somehow I have some things, some powers within me that wants to be unfold in this life. So I'll use this kind of powers and these kind of feelings and all to create something and to kind of collaborate more in kind of or area or something that somehow is calling me more. And what is good is because somehow during your life, something that is calling you can change. Maybe when you are kind of 20, maybe it's your thing is, okay, I want to work this because somehow your anger goes more directly to that. But then you learn, you think, okay, now there is something more happening in the world, and you feel, no, I'm called to this. So, if you're really present to all the messages that are coming, maybe some invitations, maybe somehow your friend is telling you about something. Oh, I hear this company that's doing this. And you say, oh my God. We are all connected in this Mother Earth. And so if you're really present, you're not just busy, what next, kind of in this unconscious fear all the time. but you're always present with the information that is coming, connected to what you really are and what you really want to do with what you are. Because kind of, if you are connected, your mind, kind of your thoughts, your feelings, kind of your soul, and your hands to do, if these things are really balanced, I mean, you cannot be unhappy and crying with the things that you're doing, because no, I mean, if you're passionate, if you're kind of, every day you wake up in the morning and yes, a new day, something is open. So what I'm going to do with my being here, and that can change, and that can change every day till you're going to another life. But my thing is really breathe, really focus on who you are. Really, sometimes you need to wait for the things that really, because sometimes the things are not running exactly the time that you may think, because maybe there are other things that you need to evolve first in order to get what you want. So everything that is happening to you is for your highest purpose first, and also for the purpose of this humanity. So if we all see each other like kind of little cells that are connected, and that we are kind of helping each other to evolve. That we are kind of helping each other to manifest our kind of highest being in this earth. I think everything that happens with us in career, in life, in family, everything will be always for our highest self. So that's what I really believe.
Sure, thank you. So these are just really, really beautiful insights. We literally have like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes left of our call, and we are really going to take some closing reflections. Thank you so much, Ana Paula, for availing yourself, for your time, for your courage, and for your wisdom and sharing the insights, because there are so many people out there in the world that are stuck and don't know, or stuck through the rut of overthinking as well, So as we close, I just really would like to highlight some powerful key takeaways from today's discussion. For me, there's really three things. It says that change begins with listening to your being. Listen to your own voice and what it tells you and where you need to go. The second one is that fear can be transformed into clarity and courage. So introspect, but also surround yourself with people really that are not going to judge you, but that are going to listen and help you and encourage you to actually live your highest calling and your highest purpose. And the third one is that you are more than just your job title or your paycheck, So you really deserve alignment, you deserve wholeness, and you also deserve joy, right? We really need joy, love, and happiness in our lives, So Ana Paula, thank you so much for reminding us that we don't have to just survive, but we can truly live and thrive, And to everyone here, thank you, Marta, for joining us, and to everyone who will be listening to this recording. We really like to leave you with this question, do you really want to merely survive, or do you really want to live? So we'll be uploading this on our YouTube channel, and we'll be promoting it to multiple African countries as well as Portugal. And so that we make sure that more and more people see it and listen to it across the world and across the globe. So thank you so much for joining us today on the Diversity Roundtable. Until next time, stay courageous, stay connected, and most importantly, choose to be. Thank you so much, Ana Paula, for joining us.
Thank you, Pamela, for this invitation and for being here with me and to share this